Good evening, GPVWC viewers, and welcome to the Academy Series. It's the 7th round of our season, and it's right here at Motorland Aragon, a beautiful part of Spain, it must be said. So a delightful event awaits us, the 2 races of 12 laps with the qualifying session in just a moment's time. My name is Eoin Harmon, and the FS1 crew is back. It's Ed Hunter alongside me tonight, and Remco Zeeuw is on broadcast direction. So Ed, snappy intro for me tonight. How are you keeping?
Good, thanks. I guess it is FS1 crew because Remco would usually be driving an FS1 and we'd be commentating on him. So you're absolutely correct on that front. And yeah, it's always great to come back into Academy Series. Some of my first ever commentaries were on Academy a couple of years ago. So it's always entertaining and good to see some of the new drivers on the ladder trying to get a bit of experience under the belt and some of the old favourites returning as well. Not least, of course, I believe Chris Williamson might be tempted to dip his beak into the water at Aragon here. So not that there's any running water near the circuit, but had to keep the analogy going. But anyway, yeah, you can see 4.5 kilometers, 18 turns, of course. So it's got an interesting sort of challenge here, and it's a circuit we wouldn't normally see the GPV ladder reach. So it's always good to have some of these outliers get being put through their paces, and the drivers are having to adapt very quickly.
That's absolutely right. So yeah, we're straight into qualifying now. And after the previous round at Kyalami in South Africa, a good variety of drivers, Lucas Matulik and Matthew McKinnon, came out as winners last time about. So another driver to talk about, of course, from that most recent race back at the start of the month, it's Francesco Grimalizzi. So he got a podium in race 1 from 4th on the grid. So a great chance for Francesco, perhaps, back on European soil to make another impression. And of course, a P4 in race 2 means he's got that momentum behind him, Ed.
Yeah, certainly. If you can just about finish outside the podium, it always sets you up well going into future rounds as well. So it's not necessarily the drivers that appear out of nowhere and blow everyone away that you've got to watch out for. Sometimes it's the drivers that are getting experience and get better and better the more Academy races they do, that end up staying around a bit longer and becoming real factors in future years, or maybe even looking for substitute drives in Formula Sprint 2. So you can see the big wall in the background. I think this just shows you some of the local, it's at the local Aragon castle, I think, that they have near the circuit, if I'm not mistaken, at Motorland Aragon. But yeah, it is one of those newer facilities in Spain. I think it's one of those ones that they built in the wake of Fernando Alonso's sort of popularity. They decided they needed a sort of lower grade FIA circuit for some of the junior Formula, and Aragon fit the bill. So yeah, you can see Grimalizzi just going into what looks like, I might have to learn this circuit as I'm watching it. I think that's the turn 9 hairpin through 10 and 11. He's just coming through. No, this is the final. This is 16, 17, 18. Sorry, that's the wrong end of the circuit I was looking at. But there we go. First lap being started here from Grimalizzi. Of course, it should be a private session as he goes really wide over the curb, coming through in a 2 and now into 3 and now 4 as well, where we switch to the other side of the circuit there. So it really shows you that first corner, that section can really catch you out, and that's of course where the pit exit is as well, coming in, feeding into turn 2 as we now go towards 7, 8 and now 9 as well later in the lap then. So this is where again we go from high speed to technical and then back to high speed then. So Grimalizzi is certainly finding his tyres fighting against him in this opening lap of the session that he's putting himself through as we go into 8 and 9, the little chicane hairpin section.
Yeah, so nice long left-hander. Got to keep your foot planted to the throttle here. And Grimalizzi, not quite the purple lap, but certainly he's among contenders. Nova McKenna is fastest of all through the first 2 sectors, and there is Nova's time. It's a 1:47.7 that everyone else has to try and beat. We'll wait for Francesco to complete the laps. And pretty solid, very good second sector there for the Italian. Matulik 2 seconds back, as well as Kochkov Sukac. And then Bettany as well, 5 seconds down. So yeah, plenty of performance still left in these cars. I'm sure everyone just wants to get a little practice lap in, just a little banker lap, just to get their feelers out. Jamie Klomp goes P2, the first driver within 1.3 seconds or 1.5 seconds to round up. Yeah, let's see now Grimalizzi about to Grimmelisi, beg your pardon, to cross the line now. And here we go, 147.7, narrowly misses out on the pole, just 400ths of a second. Very, very close margins here, but so far so good for McKenna.
Yeah, and of course, we actually had Nova McKenna filling in when one of our regular drivers was sadly banned for a race. So Nova McKenna stepped in at Sepang in the FS2 round and did a very, very solid job. Got a little bit, it was used a little bit as a punching bag for some of the other drivers, which is, I'm sure, a familiar story for many of the FS2 fields, sadly. But, and for that matter, I think maybe a couple of Academy drivers can relate as well. But yeah, luckily, though, with a slightly smaller field, 17, 18 drivers, I guess. As you see, Byron Prix just flirting with the edge of track limits coming out of, I think that was the turn 10 there. And again as well. So yeah, the thing that really stood out to me watching the lap from Grimmelisi was that run from 15 to 16. You got through, I think, about 3 or 4 different sentences there, because it's an age in these Academy cars, because they're not the best in terms of acceleration top speed compared to, say, the Super League cars or the Super Lights cars, for instance, which are identical this season. So I don't know why I differentiate between the two, but yeah, it really is one where DRS and getting in the slipstream behind someone is going to be all important, as we see Piri negotiating that back straight essentially, and then you're sort of waiting for the breaking point at 16 here into that hairpin then, and yeah, there we go, just trying to make sure you don't sort of get on the brakes too early, but you also don't miss the corner entirely and go off into the runoff.
Of course, yeah, that'll be your entire lap ruined here at Aragon. So now up the hill to the start finish, and it'll be a 148.9. Not too bad for Byron. Onto the second row of the grid, so Piri can take that on board. And here is Tervic Funcic, who wants to make sure after a reasonable week in FS1 that he can carry on in his driving capabilities tonight. Oh, close one there at the castle. Yeah, plenty of curb. Now he'll split across the second sector line, and he's lost a lot of time in this middle sector, so may just be a case of get the lap in and just put it behind you, because there's still 8.5 minutes to go in this session. So
Grimmelisi's gone a bit faster, because he's taking pole position 147.613, so just over a tenth quicker than McKenna. Funny how we've got McKenna Racing Team Principal Nova McKenna and our Bodal Racing FS1 Team Principal Lorenzo Tervic Funcic competing against each other here. So it is kind of a nice little sub-narrative we've got to keep our eye on, as Lorenzo still trying to get that first lap on the board over the line. I know he's going in the pits, so even he knows that was a bit of a scruffy lap then, as McKenna trying to get back on terms with Grimmelisi and letting the rear absolutely hang out, so using a lot of oversteer to get the car rotated through the chicanes then.
Yeah, Grimmelisi has that impetus back by a single tenth, and so far, yeah, Nova will be on course to improve his time despite losing out on his personal best in the middle sector. So now to the final hairpin he shall come. I'll be nice and patient here. Oh, big slide. That could cost him that advantage he had. And now final corner 18. Won't notice it too much in the Academy car, but he's got to push on all the way. And he is there. He has found the 10th back, and he serves Francesco Grimmelisi that extra 10th in return. So he's found 2 tenths to swing it back in his favor. Rimcevic here across the line for P12. Not too shabby.
Yeah, McKenna really strong in that middle sector in particular. Unfortunately, Eoin, I haven't had any dinner yet, so I'm going to very quickly go off in the final 7 minutes or so of this quali session, sneak it in, and hopefully come back for the race, as Loza Mateo is just about making the corner there. It's so hard even to get these Academy cars slowed down for the tighter corners, so I think some of the drivers have got some interesting setups thinking about that back straight and straight line speed, and then instead of having to collect it into some of the corners at the last minute then. So I'm going to quickly head off, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yeah, let's see what Mateo can do. Oh, he's understeered. Too much pace into that braking zone. So this lap is a bit of a throwaway here, I'm afraid to say. So, and Jamie Klump as well, pushing hard in the 8 and 9, I believe that is. So, yeah, hefty enough. But he'll go through Marc Marquez corner and through the gentle curve of 11. Yeah, you barely see it before you have to start planning your turn 12. Here it comes. Oh, that's full. Oh, it's bottomed out on the sausage car, but he's going to hit the barrier. And hopefully that car can telepit. Yeah, he has managed to telepit. That's unfortunate. He just pushed a little bit too hard into turn 12. And the bottoming on the sausage car was cost him. Matalik crossed the line. He goes fourth. So an improvement by 3 positions. Very well played by Lucas there. Nova McKenna realizes this lap isn't worth saving. So 5 minutes, 15 seconds to go. He's going to abandon that one and try again. Prix, similar story here. Looks like he's pushing hard through the uphill turn 10. There we go. Pushing even further along now. 60 seconds of the lap has already passed. That's how you do it. Good entry curve as well for turn 12. Now turn 13. Again, pushing extremely hard. Taking braking barrier, braking point marker with him. But not too bad. He's definitely improving here. So Prix on course to get ahead of Matalik for 4th place if this lap can continue. So the long back straight here, ideal for slipstream battles, but it's all about how you perform in the braking zone as well. Otherwise this lap will be discarded. So 75 meters, gets on the brakes, first gear, 60 kilometers an hour. Good entry point there with the full lock of the wheel. Now final corner, uses a lot of curb. It's got to be a 147 point. Oh, it's actually 148, so he doesn't quite make it beyond or below 1 second, but he does make it to P4, so he does improve by the 2 positions he needed. 4 minutes to go now. Matalik is responding immediately here with a purple middle sector by 3 thousandths of a second, and this could be another fantastic response. Sergei Soroka has to look on with a bit of caution here. He's not on circuit at the moment as far as I can tell. And that's P3 for Lucas, so he jumps 2 places. And it's still difficult to deny McKenna and Grimalizi on the front row. Andre Nigren is P7 at the moment. He's down in his personal in the middle sector. But if it is a case where the first sector carries the lap, then he could potentially find a way past Jakub Tonasco. Now, a bit of a heavy turn of the car there, the back end not cooperating fully. He's got the chance to surge up the hill and the start-finish straight beckons. It's got to be a 148 something. It's a 148.8, and it's not an official improvement on his grid slot, but not too fussy. I'm sure he'll have one more chance. Grimalizi to the line. Here he comes. Oh, it just misses out the final sector, proving his undoing a little bit there. Not quite his personal best. So Nova McKenna remains first. Martin Rietberg stays P10. Yeah, he stays P10, but that was a solid lap. He improved everywhere that he needed to. Rimcevic will come along again, currently P13. We'll hope now with this significant improvement in the middle sector. Yeah, again, the grippy rear tires not quite living up to their reputation here, but Julian is definitely on for a 149 to 150. There we go, 149.9, and that gets him up 1 place. So Pablo Mata drops down, but he'll be on a lap as well, raring to go. 2 minutes to go. You've got to be on circuit now on your out lap to stand any chance of getting a final roll of the dice here in Academy Series qualifying. A long lap here, Aragon. And Grimalizi misses the apex there. He's going to have to concede. This will not be his time to qualify on pole. He will not get another opportunity. Soroka in 4th. Personal best, sector 1. Same with Rietberg in 10th place. So we'll join Sergei right now. And down he comes to the very fiddly chicane here. 14 into 15. And now he's got to visualize that hairpin in about 10 seconds from now. It's a long drive, but he has to be fully aware of what is going to happen and what he needs to happen for this lap to be anywhere near a top 3 worthy lap. But he is pretty handy ahead of Byron Peary. That was a good hairpin. Very well performed, but up the hill he'll go. It's going to be nip and tuck to see if it's a personal improvement. And it will not prove to be. That final sector actually cost him rather dearly, in all honesty. So 43 seconds to go. Rietvberg crosses the line, stays P10. Matulik in third, is improving in the first sector. He's got to dig deep to find another 0.4 of a second to get anywhere close to Francesco. Now on board camera view here. Waiting and waiting. Got to be very, very adept up to the castle section. That looks nice. He's now ready to go down the hill. 14 into 15. And he's purple in the middle sector. Oh, but just a little bit wide there. The plank will definitely take a meeting there with the sausage curb, so that might cost him that advantage. So checkered flag waves. DRS fully open here. So he's got to hope for every last fibre of this car's performance. Braking now. The flames shooting out the exhaust. That's a beautiful hairpin. Nowhere near the outside curb, so that will allow him through turn 17. Not a bother, but he has to be acute into 18 to stand any chance. He'll try and cut the start-finish line, but he doesn't. He misses out on that final sector. Matteo has a chance now. Get into the top 10. He's on course without a doubt here. Just has to be nice and cool. Does go on the high line there into 16 for the finale now. Loza Matteo, up he goes. It has to be a 148 to stand any chance. 149.5. So again, that last sector, it's not proving to be at all friendly to these academy cars, and he'll have to settle with 11th place. Jerome Berg, could this be a personal improvement? It's going to be tight. Yes, it is a PB, but it's 7.5 seconds off the pace. And there we go. The Williamson car there in the pits as well, so I'm not sure if he's actually going to compete in the race, so we'll wait and see if that's confirmed. And now Byron Peary for the last time, the final competitive time, if your perspective is the driver's going for big honours here. So Peary to the start finish line. Here he goes. It is a personal improvement and he gains. Sergei Soroka has lost his 4th position. Peary takes it away, and here comes Lorenzo Tervich-Funcic. Can he find improvements? No, yeah, he does get a PB, but not enough to enhance his grid slot. Georgios Davakos, here he goes. This is a very good lap as well. It's a 149.8, and alas, he doesn't actually gain a position, but he does improve his grid slot. So there we go. That's everybody sorted. So Nova McKenna set the benchmark on 2 occasions. That has granted him the honour of the pole position for our first of 2 races. So a very interesting session with Francesco Grimolisi joining him on the front row. So those 2 drivers really adapting to Aragon spectacularly. Lucas Matulik will be in 3rd place, so great momentum behind him. Byron Peary is 4th, ahead of Sergei Soroka in 5th. We've Jakub Tonasco, Jamie Klump, Andrei Nigrin, Savali Kochikov-Sukac, and Martin Rietvberg completing our top 10. And our second page has another gaggle of drivers. We've Loza Matteo in 11th, Georgios Davakos in 12th, Pablo Mata 13th, Julian Rimskovic in 14th, Lorenzo Tervich-Funcic 4 seconds down there in 15th, Nathaniel Skarupa has 16th place, and the last valid time was set by Jerome Berg, 7.5 seconds off pole. And there's race director Chris Williamson just observing the goings on. So yeah, he's not an actual competitor, just there to keep an eye on everybody. So there we have it. Very interesting session, it must be said. But McKenna has the first blood here, as we wait for everything to be fully formed and ready to go for our first 12 lap race around the 4.5 kilometer Motorland Aragon facility. Yeah, great example of a track where you have a variety of corners, all sorts of technical sections, and you've plenty of runoff as well. A nice modern facility, so if you've got side-by-side battles and something catches you unaware, then you'll just end up most likely in a runoff area. Whoa, big slide out of pit lane there. So our warm-up session for the race officially begins. So just a little bit to get ready before hopefully Ed has finished his meal time. So yeah, we'll just have the brief warm-up session for about 10 minutes, as is usual. So everybody can now convert to their race setups. Got to fuel the car up appropriately. Make sure the tires, the tire pressures, etc., are fine. Your aero is in order. But yeah, otherwise, the academy is more about learning your driving skills. But of course, yeah, you're just going to make sure you've got the fuel to the finish and so on and so forth before heading out into a live race situation. Track temperature, a nice toasty 46 degrees. The weather is nice and sunny with an air temperature of 23 degrees Celsius at this moment in time. And there we go. A fair few cars want to get to business straight away here. And there we go. We have a return of the Ed Hunter.
Sorry, I thought it'd take too long to sort of tell you that I'm back via text message, so I thought I'd just blow my nose on the microphone. But anyway, there we go. McKenna sealing that pole then. But it does look like he's a close Italian rather. I can't remember what nationality are. God, this is the problem with the names that I'm not used to. It was Grimmelisi, wasn't it? I can't remember what nationality Grimmelisi is, but Grimmelisi only about 2/10 up in the end. So
Italian.
Considering, yeah, Italian. Yeah, I thought he might be Italian, but you never want to presume these things. So yeah, it was interesting because I think Grimmelisi showed well early in the session and then was fairly consistent, whereas Nova McKenna was just able to pip ahead at that time in the end. So it could be a close race between those two up front. And yeah, I think if McKenna can't break the toe before they get to the back straight, it could be very much a sort of back and forth DRS train essentially in the fight for the lead if McKenna isn't careful then. So yeah, this will be really, really interesting. And of course, most important thing in Academy, stay out of trouble, especially because it's the top 15 that get the reverse grid for race 2. So if you can just stay in the race, you never know what might happen then.
Of course, yeah, and I suppose looking back at the South African round, it was a bit of a nightmare for Nova to fail to finish on both occasions. If the statistics are correct, they didn't quite make it on either occasion to the checkered flag, so it'd be an ideal time for Nova just to put that disappointment behind him and try again. So he barely got 3 laps in race 2, but he nearly made it to the finish on the first race here. Great news for McKenna that he is feeling far more comfortable at Aragon. So we're on board through the castle section now. You definitely feel that underneath you, the big vibrations. We saw a few times in qualifying at the sausage curb. If you run too far out wide, then you will bottom out on it. For example, this one here, that's a prime example out of turn 15. If you push too hard, that sausage curb will grab the plank underneath you and just drag you along.
Yeah, Nova, they were very committed there, weren't they? So we were just trying to go skateboard over the curbs, essentially, and hope for the best. But yeah, it really shows you that the track's surprisingly quite a bit of a roller coaster ride. To see McKenna just absolutely slide the rear tyres out on that Academy car as McKenna just approaches the start-finish line again at the end of this warm-up session. Don't think we got too long left, have we? If I just check the time, six minutes of warm-up at the very most. So yeah, of course, this is a good session. Sort of reset from qualifying and focus on the race, of course, because it may only be about, what is it, 15 laps or so that we were looking at earlier. But you've definitely got to go into it with a different mindset than you had in qualifying, where it's obviously just the out-and-out fastest lap that counts, whereas in the race you've got to stay out of trouble and race well as well. So it's 12 laps in both races, sorry, not 15, as I mistakenly said earlier. I was trying to remember what a 5 and a 2 looks like. But anyway, there's Lucas Metalik, who is a name I'm not familiar with, which is probably going to be the case of a lot of these Academy drivers, admittedly. But yeah, Metalik definitely, where was he on the grid, if memory serves? I'll just look up the folder very quick. And that's the warm-up we're looking at the moment. Qualifying There we go. Maslik was third, of course, about 6/10 behind Nova McKenna then. So kind of best of the rest is what Lucas is aiming for. And yeah, if he can finish his first race on the podium and hold off the likes of Byron Pirian, Sergei Soroka, who's got a lot of academy experience as well under his belt. All those five are the only drivers all within a second of each other in that sort of pole position fight then. So we just see if that translates to the race, because some of our less experienced drivers like Matalik might be at a disadvantage compared to someone like Soroka, who's got so many academy races under his belt.
Yeah, indeed. And looking up the Discord chat, Nova was especially excited that Aragon was brought in as the next round, and it's proven to be.
I wonder if he's been practicing. Oh,
yeah.
They've been practicing. Yes.
They've been practicing, yeah. So it makes perfect sense. If you're excited for a venue, that helps your preparations out. You know how motivating it can be to have a venue you really enjoy driving. So, you know, where you're struggling the most, then yeah, you can work on that and enjoy what you do prefer, and that's proven very helpful to McKenna's case. Soroka about to cross the line for first registered time in this warm-up session, and it is decent enough, but I suppose, yeah, way off the pace if you're actually being competitive. So it's more just getting a feel for the track again in the race trim. Yeah,
sounds like you were hoping he would set a better time there.
Yeah, I actually
2 minutes 21 is clearly, yeah. Particularly that first sector 56 is where he was losing all the time there, Soroka. So I think definitely not a push lap. But yeah, well, there's no incentive to set any. It's all just about bedding the car in. And there's you see Soroka just exploring the track limits a little bit, carrying a little bit too much speed into the first sector there, I think, as he comes out of the 8, 9, 10 complex. And yeah, this is me trying to learn the track, essentially. Sorry, I know it's not riveting commentary, but there we go. Soroka pulling off, and I think deciding doesn't want to go any further then. So obviously it's going to be a busy week, by the way, Eoin, of GPV, because we have got Montreal rounds of Super Lights on Tuesday, of course, with... you're going to have, I believe it's Toby Davies, Alex Folks on the commentary there. And then there is the Super League Canadian commentary. I believe, if I understood Toby's message correctly, he was asking me to fill in for the commentary there. I forget who it was in place, so I think it might have been Ross.
Caitlin can't make it.
Oh, it's Caitlin that can't make it, so I'm filling in for Caitlin, not Ross. Yes. Not Ross, as I mistakenly thought a few
Ross
minutes ago.
Finally back. Yeah, he's had a few weeks unable to commit, but now he's ready to get back to work. So I look forward to working with him. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that should be fun, of course. Luke Moynier still leading those standings, if I'm not mistaken, over, I forget who's second now after the previous race, but Sepang, because so much seems to keep happening in Super League that I don't even know the website's going to be up for me to check this time, because when we were doing this time Thursday, it wasn't. So I may well just take a peek there and recap those standings. Of course, no standings in Academy, so if you're having a bad season in Academy, no one can know. You and I have been none the wiser, because there's no points, so it's all just about individual results and also making progress. So I think there's as much as it's a broadcast championship, these drivers are all here to learn, and I think it's good that usually if someone makes a mistake, I'm not too judgmental and harsh on them regardless, but I think that's especially the case here, where we want all the drivers to do well, or as well for them as possible, with the possible exception of Chris Williamson, race director, who may be giving it a go from the back of the grid, having sat out qualifying. So I think Chris is there just to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, he says don't look at him in the order officially. I suppose just doing his regular admin work. But
don't look at me!
Yeah, you've pretty much said that, yeah. I suppose, yeah, when I subbed in for Academy at Spa-Francorchamps one time, we did have some unsporting conduct, so that is probably the one thing that needs to be tightly
I remember that.
on. Yeah, it was a very awkward interview, but at least everybody had their opportunity to speak, and we did deal with it accordingly. So yeah, that's the one thing. You're allowed to make mistakes, but if you're consistently caught breaking the rules, then yeah, that'll definitely go against you. So just keep it nice and fair, and you'll get your rewards eventually.
Exactly. It's incredible. You may think Academy that some of the drivers are not taking it that seriously, but of course, that's not in their makeup, is it? They are absolutely taking it extremely seriously, and why shouldn't they, really, when you think about how they really want to get up the GPV ladder, show what they can do. Any kind of a collision is certainly going to be just as controversial as it might be in, say, FS2 or FS1 or even Super League. Well, actually, not quite as much as Super League, because obviously there's a lot more prize money. Well, there's no prize money. There's a lot more pride at stake because it's the top level, I guess. But anyway, we'll see that in due course, and who knows? Maybe some of these drivers might be, if they stick with it and improve along the way, we may even be commentating on them in FS1, FS2 before too long as well. As we look at Savalay, Kochetov, Sukak, with a lovely name there for Savalay, as he it sounds a bit like Savaloy, which is a sausage you used to get at the fish and chip shop, but either way, that's a very British regional reference that most of our viewers will not understand whatsoever, so I don't know why I mention it. But yeah, he of course qualified, let's check on the grid where he is. He's P9, just behind Andre Negrin, I think. So he was about 1.7 seconds off the base, only a tenth behind Negrin. So he could be one of our drivers that's really thinking more about the reverse grid pole, which is obviously top 15. Because as much as a strong finish in race 1 is important, those that are maybe a little bit further down may, as the race goes on, start to shift their focus to sort of being relatively close to the sort of front 2 rows, so they can take advantages. We see Sukak stopping and then going over the start-finish line. I thought he might be doing a practice start there, but he didn't really stop long enough to do the procedure there. So I think that was just him realizing he was on camera and stopping to say hello.
Yeah, just pretty much got the clutch release sorted out, and then came to a proper stop and back to the pits. And that is the end of our warm-up session now. And Lucas Matulik has the quickest time on the race setup there, ahead of Nova McKenna and Jakub Tonasco as well. So nice to see those drivers going for pace as well as preparation here in our first warm-up session. So that will bring us to the final few moments before the grid is assembled here at Motorland Aragon, and our 12-lap race can duly begin.
Yeah, it may only be 12 laps, but you can see with the length of the circuit, especially down that back straight, they are going to feel a bit longer each lap than you'd normally expect. It's not quite Spa levels of length, of course, but it's still an interesting one here. So, yeah, we'll have to see. Some of our drivers may, towards the end of the race, start to just get a bit impatient and begin to take risks to pass each other. So it could get very, very hectic even after the first lap here.
Yeah, so 60-kilometer race distance approximately. That's the Remco announcement I saw, just to say how you determine the amount of laps. So yeah, 12 is kind of in the middle of modern circuit, not too long or too short, I suppose, right in that sweet spot in the average. So yeah, it's a case where it'll be about a minute 50 per lap most times. So yeah, you've got to be fully alert across the lap. Certainly the first sector, that's one where you're just probably going a little bit run-of-the-mill on your own, but in racing situations, yeah, that will be very, very busy. And we'll see how drivers can get on as we start to form the grid, and we'll begin our process for the first round of round 7 of tonight's Academy Series.
Oh, am I supposed to jump in here? Or is this where we put the bumper?
You can, yeah. I thought the stinger.
Yeah, okay. I guess we got a unique intro. We got a unique intro, but no stinger. So this is the problem. We're now too well prepared.
We're too well prepared.
Adjusted to Toby's new system, and it doesn't apply here. So there we go. We'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way by just talking as the drivers pop on the grid, and we look at some lovely tarmac. There we go. I love also the way they've got the Spanish flag on the curbing with the red and yellow of the Catalan sort of colours, essentially. Is it Catalan?
Yes, yeah. Catalonia, I suppose. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So, of course, we got in real life in Formula One, we got the Madrid ring
Madring.
Madring, yeah, they've contracted it even further. So we've got another Spanish track. A little bit reminds me of the sort of Montjuic Park, which in Barcelona, which F1 used to use in the 60s and 70s before it was a sort of shut after the really unsafe 75 race where the barrier fell apart, I think. And we had
Right,
yeah, exactly. It was a bit of a tragedy for poor Rolf Stommelen, if memory serves. Well, actually, no, I wasn't around, so of my research. So
studying, yes.
Yes, exactly, yeah. So, but of course, that race memorable mainly, it must be said, for the first time that a woman has scored points in Formula One in the form of Lola Lombardi getting a half point for finishing 6th, I think, when the race was red flagged, of course. So, yeah, that's a nice little bit of history that Montjuic has to its name. But of course, yeah, the Madring yet to be put into R Factor 2, so it'll be interesting if it does, whether we do end up seeing like the Super League, Super Lights, FS1, FS2 fields visit it. But yeah, I think Motorland Aragon, it's going to be a really interesting one because these Academy cars are very, very raceable, and every year a lot of the team behind the scenes do a great job to make sure that this entry-level tier is accessible as possible, but also that it's still a little bit of a challenge to drive, that you can't just like sit down on the throttle and the car will hold on no matter what. You do have to make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing, otherwise you will get it quite badly wrong and ruin not just your own race but several other people's as well if you're not careful.
Yeah, of course, I'll just say very quickly, I remember there was a school-wide quiz that we tried to enter, we do national school quizzes, and people were fed up with me getting all the F1 questions right. So they asked, who is the only woman to score a World Championship point in F1? I go, Lola Lombardi. It's like, how the hell do you know that?
Well, it'd be half a point as well.
I'm glad.
Does that count as a
half
full
a point, technically, yeah. That was the question at the time. I knew it when I was about 16, so I was proud of that moment.
Oh, I was remember they did it in Scouts one time. Like, who is the youngest British F1 driver? And I went at the time. I think I went for youngest driver period, which was Mike Fackwell, when I should have gone for Jenson Button. So you had the easier question, I think.
As far as I did, technically, yes. Sure.
Or maybe I should have paid more attention and realised that Mike Fackwell was actually from New Zealand and not.
Well then, yeah, unfortunate, but yeah, good attempt. So now Nova McKenna leads us to the grid, so we have our bit of fun and frolics on the formation lap, but now it's time for proper focus and attention for the first race at the Aragon venue here. So 12 laps to get us started, and then Grimaleezy lined up as well in the red livery car on board with Prix on the second row, so you can see the motorcycle grid slots as well for MotoGP, etc. But here come the all-important red lights, 5 in total, and a long haul, but we're way off. Fantastic launch there, and that will put the pressure straight away on Grimaleezy.
That's so, Matalik on the outside there.
Yeah, Matalik, fantastic start. Oh, Soroka having a bit of a duel there. Tonasco, I think that would have been. But oh, great seal here for Nigren. Nigren having a look down the inside into turn 3. Soroka having to defend here. Lots of cars strewing around the runoff area, and is as open a gap as they can. Matteo into the back of the silver of Prix. So Prix lost out after that promising start. But Matalik has to be absolutely thrilled to get off the line like a lion. Matteo! Oh, he's somehow held on to that big drift. The pressure builds up. Rimskovic as well, also in range of the top 10 in a duel with Pablo Mata.
Oh, there we go. Mata going a bit wide through 10, and Rimskovic gratefully goes up the inside into P11 then. But yeah, Lucas has made a really solid launch off the line, and Grimaleezy, a sort of bogged down by comparison, that sort of opened the door into turn 1. And now Matalik is putting the pressure on Nova McKenna for the race victory here, and why not really? We see Soroka passing Tonasco in the background, but Jacob Tonasco very quickly reasserts himself back into 6th position there. So I think that might have been Soroka just diving to the outside very briefly, getting ahead there as we go down the back straight for the first time towards that hairpin. You can see there McKenna just moving around to try and put off Matalik and kind of break the toe there, as we see Prix is getting into the fight with Soroka just behind as well into the hairpin for the first time. Will they all get through in one piece? Oh, just about a minor bit of contact there between Tonasco and Prix. Prix goes wide again as they go into the final couple of corners.
Lap 1 completed. McKenna hangs on to the lead, but Soroka for 7th position is hassling and harrying Tomasco here, but not ready to go for the dive bomb just yet. I suppose turn 1 is rather certainly misleading about how quick it is in these cars, so yeah, good enough.
Oh, Klomp and Negrin side by side. Looked like Jamie was going for a move up the inside into the first corner, and Negrin was having none of it. But here we go into turn 4. This time the baby blue versus the turquoise. It's Negrin that goes off track in the turquoise car, and Klomp is going to go all the way around the outside him, unless Negrin can be letting the brakes and just barge him back out the way, as we're 3 wide in the background between Prix, Soroka and Tanasco, and it's Prix that holds on.
I think that might have been Savali, Kochikov, Sukac in the background. Oh, 3 wide there just in the background. Has anything come of that? Might be Matteo ahead. Tanasco in 8th. And again.
I think that was Kochikov Sukac that just left the track there. Vimskevits is now closed in on his battle as well there. In the second round, and Brown goes Kochikov Sukac. So I think just tapped in the back there.
Yeah, it might have been a tap. We will confirm that hopefully at some stage. But for now, yeah, it's thankfully just a case that the car may just have burnt up a little bit of rubber. Yeah, maybe contact from the front actually that sent the Ukrainian around. So here comes our replay. Here we go, watching from behind. Was it a case? Oh, so there's a bit of a wobble, but that was just natural.
There was a lot going on in the lead up to this.
Yeah. Oh, there's the spin. So yeah, it's not from behind.
I think it might have got one of the front wheels on the grass. He was really far over the curb there.
Yeah, so there's the battle with the other red
There's the
cars.
contact.
Yeah, there's the first contact, yeah.
With Matteo, I think. And then, just slid on the brakes, yeah.
Oh, Matalik. I have to say, we have a new race leader. Lucas Matalik has taken the lead. And we will finish up our replays and note that McKenna has lost 1st position. And it's not over yet, though. Maybe a chance for Nova to defend this.
Forces Matalik on the curb, and look at Grimalizi as well, catching up to them both, Eoin, as they're battling here. So this is not part of Nova McKenna's game plan. He's having to defend from 2 cars now as Matalik goes very wide, and Grimalizi now looks to capitalize up the inside as they go into the far chicane here at, that must be 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, the fast turn 10 will allow these cars just to get back into formation. Matalik, after that flirtation with the race lead, has to accept a P3 now, so still ways to go. 12, 13. Oh, wide there for Grimalizi, and that could be a case of having to block the road down the apex there. Oh, and McKenna quite enthusiastic into the 90-degree chicane as well, and this will be slipstream central with Grimalizi with the advantage, but Matalik double DRS, so the weaving across the surface here, that'll definitely put off Matalik, who won't know.
3 wide.
3 wide indeed, but Matalik decides to go for the cutback. McKenna wide. There's Grimalizi ahead on the road for now. Well, yeah, gotta watch your mirrors at all times here. McKenna with the disadvantage, but there will be some DRS as well. Matalik loses out on that occasion. McKenna down the inside. Will that hold? Yes, it will. So extraordinary stuff here from our podium contenders, all switching positions in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, you can tell Nova McKenna really holding up well to the pressure here, despite 1 or 2 little mistakes, able to capitalize, use the DRS very sensibly and cannily to get back into the lead there. So Grimalizi was trying to be the one sort of first in the queue there, but then that second dose of DRS went against him. And look, a little mistake from Grimalizi now that backs both himself and Madalik almost out of DRS range if they're not careful here. So Madalik and Grimalizi would be sensible to stop fighting each other so hard and wait for the DRS zone this lap.
Absolutely, yeah, you got to make sure those tires can keep the best possible durability for the late stage of the race. Make sure that you don't lose out on your potential. So looking at our timing tower, we can see how the positions have changed since our race began. Top 4, no change at all. But it's Andre Nigrin who's done a terrific job to gain 3 places. And Rimskevich as well, up 4. So that's very impressive work there in the battle in the top 10. But Tanasco is who we're watching at the moment, down 2 places. And the contest with
Lost out to
Soroka.
Soroka. I think Soroka must have got him into 9 and 10 there just before we cut to him. So, yeah, Soroka using that experience to get back up the order. And here comes Klomp having another go. Andre Negrin at the end of the back straight into turn 15. It is Klomp that covers off the line and gets himself back into the top 5. You see Tanasco trying to cut underneath and bumping in. You could see there that was coming a long way because Soroka trying to block the apex and Tanasco was already committed. So they're going side by side down the back straight, and it's Tanasco that has the DRS open, and he's got the inside line into the first corner there. But will he leave the door open? He swipes across the front and covers off the attack from Sergei Soroka there. So good little battle there. And you can see in the background, Rimskevitz, I think, has cleared Georgios Davakos, who was being a little bit of a threat to him in that orange Academy cars. There's Alex Bettany trying to steal 15th, the final. That's the reverse grid pole position then, away from Nathaniel Skarupa, of course, who is currently resolutely holding on to it as hard as he can. And Alex Bettany, another of our newer drivers, looking to prove themselves as they approach what could be a really important second race then, if they can maybe hold on, because we saw when you qualify well, our top 3 have already pulled away from everybody else. You see Alex Bettany actually going a little bit wide, making a mistake across the curbs. There's a yellow in sector 1 somewhere ahead of them. Oh, they both go wide and panic almost in reaction to that. And I think it may be Lorenzo Tovic Funchik, who's down his 17th and last, who's made a mistake, as Bettany has just gotten through on Skarupa.
The action replay will focus on Tovic Funchik into the first corner.
Too much curb.
And yeah, a lot of curb there, so that's going to send him sideways, but he does manage to get the front brakes working there, so he can turn the car back to the correct direction. That's a case of just having to move on and hope for the best. He's a
Grimalisi back in the lead.
Absolutely, brake disc glowing, but McKenna, another opportunity to fight back here is presenting itself. So up the hill they go for the next lap, halfway there nearly. McKenna, great slipstream, it has to be said, on the outside line, blocking as hard as possible as Grimalisi. But McKenna finds the gap and is through once again, and Matalik has the opportunity similarly to poach the pocket of Francesco, but not to be on this occasion. But they're just so impressive in managing their margins. They're not getting too close. McKenna, big slide there. That's a fantastic save. But what has to be done is Grimalisi has to watch the mirrors if there's going to be any hopes of winning the race, because Matalik is all over the gearbox as well, making it very difficult for the Italian in this middle battle for the podium.
You can tell all 3 of them, fighting as hard as they are, is maybe doing a bit of a number on their rear tyres as well. So they may have to get a little bit more canny here. What you also saw in the background of the previous lap into that turn 15 hairpin was Negrin going back up the inside of Jamie Klomp for P5 then. So that great battle continues. Byron Piri about 2 seconds clear of the both of them, and Jamie Klomp, he's not done yet, late on the brakes, but locks up the inside front into turn 12 there. So that will give a little bit of respite for Andre Negrin then, provided he can get 13 and 14 spot on here. And Jamie Klomp about to dive up the inside if he's not careful, and a little bit of contact made there as he almost just understeers into the side of Negrin. So now it is a drag race, and crucially Klomp being just slightly behind has got DRS as we see yellow flags in sector 3. Davakos has hit trouble and dropped out of 10th position down to 13th.
That's a pity, but we'll focus on Klomp's ambitions, using DRS but didn't use the slipstream as it was side by side all the way down the back stretch. Klomp has to watch the right hand side now, and now up the hill they go to left, and that's a case where Andre realizes, I can't win on this occasion, but I can counter attack with my shot of DRS. He'll pick the outside line, McKenna style. Can it pay off on the exit? Wheel to wheel. There's just no separating these 2 drivers at the moment. And for turn 3, that will allow Negrin back ahead. Superb. But watching and waiting to see the very quick turn 4 before you slow down immediately for 5. Klomp still ahead, and Negrin is really trying for the counter-attack, but I think you'll have to wait a little while longer, Ed. But another fantastic battle here in the Academy Series.
And in the background, Soroka has picked off Tanasco after really fighting hammer and nail just behind them, and he could well have the pace to catch these two as well. So this P5 battle is far from over. Meanwhile, it does look like Mataluk has made a big mistake that's dropped him about 7 seconds off the lead. So it's now Grimaleezy 4/10 behind Nova McKenna at the moment, as this is what happened to Davagos. Too much speed, the rear slides out, and just gets avoided there by, that must have been, I think, either Vimskevits or Savile Kotratov-Sukak.
Yeah, it's one of the purple cars anyway, so...
Oh, it would be Sukak then, yeah.
Yeah, Sukak, yeah. That would be the truth there. Davagos recovers to enter the battle. Berg and Soroka having another contest, and McKenna had another ambition to go for the lead. Oh, bump and run attempt. Grimaleezy having none of it. Up the hill, everyone choco. Matalik in the middle sector's lost a fair chunk of time. So on board, straight on the eye line for McKenna. And lap 8 begins. Round the outside again. Beautiful exit. McKenna has all 4 wheels ahead. And that's another change for the lead. And Matalik with a very good recovery here on this lap. A purple lap there from Grimaleezy, but it's not paying off just yet, thanks to McKenna's pace and technique into turn 1, Ed. But what has to be done now is, lay the groundwork for one last assault, because this race will go down to the very, very end.
Yeah, unfortunately, mistake from McKenna, so Grimaleezy's going to get alongside there as they come downhill into turn 8. There we go, but no, McKenna just hanging out there, and it's still side by side for the lead through turn 10 here. McKenna's got the inside, but Grimaleezy's further ahead here, and he's going to really brave it out, and Lucas Madaluk trying to go around the outside of both of them as well if they're not careful here. So Grimaleezy, if he can be late on the brakes, yes, he's got the line into turn 12 then. So yeah, Nova McKenna, over the curb, and they're all skateboarding there through turn 12, and now Grimaleezy goes wide. They're running out of grip on lap 8 here. Our 3 leaders are trading paint and trading mistakes here. Meanwhile, by the way, Soroka has dropped out of the top 6 and fallen down to P12, so something's gone horribly wrong for Sergei Soroka.
That's so unfortunate for Soroka, but this is the case where the gloves are off, and definitely Matalik will have to try again. Here's a replay to help us discover what happened to Loza Mateo, who's now down to P10. So this is the a bit of understeer in sector 1 there.
Oh, there was a car just stopped in front of him in sector 1. Could you see in the grass there, in the wall?
Yes, yeah.
That might be Jerome Berg, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, there's. He's lost his front wing on the pit exit there. On the exit of the first corner, sorry.
So he's minding his own business. There's the fight going on behind him. Must be Davakos and Skarupa. Oh, heavy understeer, and he arrowed into that barrier. So he did have pit lane, blend line to at least give him a little bit of reprieve there. There would have been oncoming cars, but they would know when there's a car there, just to be mindful of what's going on. And a wide there for McKenna.
Second lap, he's done that.
Yeah, this is unbelievable stuff. With the final quarter of the race to go, and Grimaleezy just going to wait his opportunity across the Marc Marquez curve, hanging on the high side. We'll get a good slipstream here, but you got to be careful of turn 12. You'll see the brake boards coming up on your right hand side. Yeah, you've got to be very mindful there. There's the giant wall. It's not a castle, as we've been told. Okay. It's just a big giant wall. That's all it is.
It certainly has some texture to the track. McKenna sliding the rear out. That's going to compromise his exit here through 14 then. So Grimaleezy's got another brilliant opportunity. This time he avoids skateboarding off onto the curbs there. And this is a really, really tense fight. Very entertaining too. And Francesco Grimaleezy senses his opportunity once more. McKenna doesn't fight it. He knows he'll have a better chance later on with the second helping of DRS. Grimaleezy, makes a bit of contact as he tries to return to the racing line. And McKenna is sort of forced out slightly wide there. So that's Grimaleezy getting his elbows out. And you can tell Mataluk knows he is running out of time to make his move here for the lead as these two just continue to fight ahead of him. Nova McKenna doing his traditional round the outside move into turn 1. Will he put it off as Negrin all over the curb as he tries to fend off Jamie Klomp, and they nearly tangle wheels there, but McKenna has made it back through into the lead. While we are watching this, Negrin will have the inside though. How late on the brakes will he go into turn 1? Not late enough. And Jamie Klomp back into P5.
We're completely engrossed by this action. It's all for learning and for honor rather than for championship points, but it's definitely not being treated as such. They feel like this is for massive prestige, and it certainly will be greeted with a lot of applause if this can carry on all the way to the finish. Matalik, who has that kind of yo-yo effect, something goes amiss for Lucas, and then when these two battlers have a contest and he's right on the gearboxes again, he does have that spring back ability.
Oh, here comes Grimmelisi.
A real race. Grimmelisi into turn 12, not really a safe overtaking point without some sort of cooperation from the car ahead. And McKenna, this is where this car can definitely lean itself forward here. Maybe a case where that chicane
he really struggles with 13 and 14 there. Sorry to cut across to you. And that's just allowing Nova McKenna again just to have a fairly straightforward run back up the inside. So Nova keeps having to repass him. If this is the state of play on the final lap, then you've got to think it's advantage Grimmelisi, because he's not quite going to be able to use the DRS to get back in front before the finish line.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, the DRS benefit that McKenna has used to great effect has been into turn 1. So this is the favoured overtaking point for McKenna, but in the final lap it will not be good enough, as the race will come to its conclusion. So this time McKenna is stuck in the wake. So this will be a plan B situation, but Lucas Matalik is coming, and he would dearly love a shot at second position into turns 4 and then 5. We'll get another onboard shot of this, the greenery in the background. Still nothing between these guys, and of course Byron Peary has set a very good lap without the distractions ahead. Oh, bit of a moment there for Grimmelisi. Maybe McKenna could have taken that to advantage. His advantage there possibly, but now Matalik, getting close there through the next section. And there was a brief flash of Peary
going well off track there. By the way, Rimskevitz has cleared Kochitov Sukak for P8 then on this lap then, so they're having a great fight as well. But surely one more lap to go. I wonder if Nova McKenna, it looked like he just got the rear tires sideways coming out of the turn 15 hairpin, but I wonder if maybe he's being a bit more strategic and sort of planning his attack for the final lap to try and use DRS to get one over on Grimmelisi here. But the problem is he's got Mataluk looking to punish him, so it's not like he can just wait for the opportune moment, because it might fly right past him.
Yeah, this might be Grimmelisi. This is his great opportunity, and Matalik as well for second position. Now he wants a little bit more of the slipstream before going down the inside into the 16th corner. He's ahead for now, but of course with the last lap, Nova McKenna still very much in this fight. Up the hill for the final lap to start now. Matalik, very aggressive defense, using the diagonal move into the pit wall pretty much, but McKenna on the outside is blocked. Matalik for now has second position, and this will need to be a fantastic lap just to make sure this race is not a Grimmelisi perfection at the end. Across the line will come 8th and 9th. Rimskevich has had a very impressive race here, making up several positions, but Kochkov, Sukat is ahead now. Yeah,
there we go.
Contact.
Kochkov, Sukat just holding on there as Nigrin and Klomp are just constantly changing position. I think Jamie's hit trouble there. Yes, a big spin for Jamie Klomp, and that's surely going to hand 5th place to Andre Nigrin then, much to Jamie's frustration. So let's have a peek what happened just before we cut back to our race leaders. There we go. There's Nigrin in front of him.
Just too aggressive.
Mistake from Jamie then. Just gets stuck on the curb there and spins as he rejoins. So let's see. Grimmelisi surely going to hold on here from Mataluk and McKenna. So Mataluk has got past McKenna, I think, on this final lap. Oh no, held on. Sorry.
But it's still the same 3 for now. But McKenna's final opportunity is coming now. You won't get DRS once the start-finish line appears. So it's all about this from Nova McKenna to finish P2 and hope for Grimmelisi error into the hairpin. This is it, the block from Lucas. And McKenna tries to go second gear into first, but now the tire has blocked the way for McKenna. And Francesco Grimolisi, final turn up the crest. And this will be race 1 triumph for Francesco Grimolisi. Congratulations on a very calculating but also aggressive drive to peak at just the right moment. Matulik in second and McKenna, that'll feel a little bit bitter, but it's a P3 nevertheless.
Really great fight between those top three, it must be said. Oh, race not over yet, though. Pablo Mata goes, and tangles, oh dear, with Luke Loza-Mateo. So Loza-Mateo making a mistake and then making contact where he came very much off the worst from it with Pablo Mata there. So he should still finish P11 then, ahead of Giorgio Stavrakos. And, of course, with Lorenzo Terovic-Funchik and Jerome Berg retiring, Alex Bettany will take P15 and the reverse group pole ahead of race 2 then. So certainly big opportunity for Bettany to have some fun at the front as long as he can stay there. But yeah, Grimolisi will be absolutely delighted with that one because, as you rightly pointed out, Eoin, just despite not making the best start, he absolutely held his nerve, waited for his moment, and in the end, Matulik and McKenna ended up fighting each other, and he was able to hold on to the lead when he needed it to. So just a couple of crucial mistakes either way decided that one.
Yeah, just the small margins proved to be the absolute difference as Alex Bettany crossed the line to secure that reverse grid pole position. So well played there just to keep going to the very end. So yeah, what a fantastic first race we've had here. The 12 laps of this race 1 will be complemented by the reverse grid race 2 with the same dozen laps distance. So Francesco Grimolisi, congratulations, a driver in excellent Vettel after good performances at Kyalami recently. Lucas Matulik in second place, a case of just having to watch those top 2 for ages, but finally got the job done. Nova McKenna, that excellent pole position, just couldn't quite make it work at the end there, falling to P3. Byron Piri, 4th position there, very impressive driving there. Almost proved to be a shock inclusion in the end there, but good driving. Andre Nigrin is 5th, with Jakub Tanasco, Jamie Klump, Julian Rimskevich, Savelli, Kochkov, Sukac, and Pablo Mata complete the top 10. And another 5 finishers in total. We've Loza-Mateo, Georgios Davakos, Sergei Soroka, Nathaniel Skarupa, and Alex Bettany. Sadly, we did not get to see Lorenzo Terovic-Funchik or Jerome Berg make it to the end, but hopefully they can try again for the race 2. The closing thoughts before we head to a quick break?
Yeah, I was just checking if that was the first win for Grimolisi, and I believe it may have been, unless there's one that I'm completely forgetting they did earlier this season then. So, yeah, of course, I'm pretty sure that Matulik and McKenna have both won before. So, yeah, I think if that's a new winner, then a very, very well-earned first win. But, yeah, let's see what all 3 of them can do, having to make their way through the field come race 2.
Absolutely. So we've been given the fantastic opening salvo from our drivers here in the Academy Series, and we'll be back very shortly to see how they get on when we jumble up the order from 15th to 1st. Stay tuned.
the next section. Pretzels. Kelty seat, the coffee beanery, Tyrek.
Flat out. Oh no!
No.
Oh no! Who's round? It's Magnussen.
Oh, it's going to be a touch moment. It's in the barrier. Oh, they spun. Oh, this is some carnage.
And Menocon's
Oh
gonna
my
win!
It's a double pass! Could they take each other off? They don't! And Flack slide! It's a victory for the Tuties!
They touch. They're now. Oh no!
Soriano's gone around and met the wall. Mitchell will go through.
As they go uphill into turn 4. Oh, and round the outside. What a fabulous move!
Frelick will use all of his as well. Here he comes. He makes a move. They touch. They run wide. And Munio's going to get it. We're going 3-wide. Look at
Sing.
contact. Oh, my goodness. Tyne has lost a wheel.
Time's out!
The dramatic race that we were teeing up the entire time has come to an end.
Welcome back, everybody. Academy Series has had its warm-up session just now after the delight of race 1. So our temporary team this evening of Eoin Harmon and Edward Hunter in the commentary box. I have to say that was a very, very high standard first race, Ed. So with the reverse grid now from 15th all the way up to first, could this bring out the aggression of the drivers now after we saw some beautiful racing in race 1?
Interesting use of the word temporary, Owen, because I think this has got to be at least the 30th or 40th commentary we've done together. So
True.
Maybe temporary academy team. Yes,
Temporary
but-
academy.
yes.
Yes, that's what I should have said.
Anyway, I know you didn't mean it, but yeah, I think I agree with you. The word of the day that you've been using every time we come back in these broadcasts is delightful, and I think that was a delightful battle. Although Nova McKenna might disagree, but because he didn't come out, because they didn't come out on top in it. But yeah, nonetheless, this will be really interesting, of course, because we are going to have a front row that I believe is Alex Bettany and whoever it was that finished 14th in the first race. I think was it Davicus? I can't remember. But yeah, that's going to be very, very. Skarupa, it was Nathaniel Skarupa, wasn't it, in the black Academy car? So yeah, that's quite a number of drivers that are front runners from the first race will have to make their way through, and this is where we could see Nova McKenna's, because he was making very, very good moves around the outside and using the DR as well into the first sector. It's really that 13-14 chicane where he was constantly going really long into it and compromising his exit then. So we'll have to see what the strategy of choice ends up being in terms of how you set up your car and how you drive it in race 2, because this could get a lot messier than the first race, where there was lots of battles, but they were for the most part very, very clean, which we don't always say in Academy.
Sure, indeed, yeah. So Alex Bettany is on our cameras now on the pole position grid slot after just surviving to the end. Probably not a race that Alex would want to look back on with much fondness, but now that the reward is a reverse grid pole, this is where you can earn your stripes here in the Academy. Skarupa and Soroka in the black livery cars are also on camera here before our drivers are released for their formation lap. So, definitely it's a case of, you know, how do you balance the faster drivers being behind you this time? Certainly the pace that we saw from our top 3 was extraordinary, and Byron Peary would feel, yeah, don't forget about me, I was just on the edge of getting onto that that contest, just hitching my rope to the back of them. So it's just a case of a few extra seconds would have helped Peary out a whole great deal. So to quickly run through the reverse grid order that we've been granted. Bettany is on pole ahead of Nathaniel Skarupa. There it is. There's our grid now. Sergei Soroka and Georgios Davicos are on the second row. Fifth position goes to Loza Mateo ahead of Pablo Mata, Savali Kotikov, Sukac, and then we have Julian Rimskovic in 8th. Top 10 is rounded up by Jamie Klomp and Jakub Tanasco, Andre Nigren and Byron Peary 11th and 12th. Pole sitter from our first race but finished 3rd. That was Nova McKenna, and she is just ahead of Lucas Matalik. Francesco Grimalizzi, the winner in our first race, with Lorenzo Tervich-Funcic alongside. And our final car in competition is Martin Rietberg in the Aragon livery. And race director Chris is just getting on with the job at hand.
I did like the way you stuck in a Simple Minds reference there, but don't you forget about me. I wonder how many others we can sneak into this commentary. Yes, will Alex Bettany get a glittering prize and keep his chances alive and kicking at the end of this?
Hey.
Or is that just another thing that I've said?
Hey.
Oh, no, it's all the things she said. Yeah, well, it doesn't make sense with a male commentator, but never mind. Anyway, but yes, Alex Bettany though, it's always a bit of a novelty. Like you said, nothing too much to write home about in that first race, but he did. Oh, as we see, that Soroka just absolutely sailing into the hairpin and rejoin the circuit. So definitely taking unusual measures to keep his tyres warm on this formation lap. But yeah, Bettany and I think Skarupa was actually getting heavy on the brakes to not hit the back of Bettany there as well. So Alex, as you say, is gone through the pain of the first race, and really his objective, I think, is to try and stay in the top 10 here and not lose too much ground in the early laps, because often if you make one mistake, it can sort of chain into this, you've been ganged up on by several cars. And we've seen the 3-car battles in the first race. We saw a lot of free wide. I think we're going to see more of the same in race 2.
Yeah, that seems very probable, as our opportunity to see the red lights shall return again. Here we go. Take your last breath before lift off. Here we go. And that looks like a great start for Skarupa. That should be a good defense on the inside line. 3 wide in 4th, 5th and 6th. Possibly Davicos maybe got a good exit, but no, could backfire a little bit. There's a look at Davicos down to 6th now. Watching out for Rimskovic. And yeah, there's a good opportunistic move. Cars using the run off. Oh, that's a slot for purple. That's Lorenzo. Oh no. It's a painful one, but at least he's still in the runnings.
Yeah, I'm amazed he didn't hit anybody.
Oh,
get hit. Oh dear, somebody's lost the front wing. And there's Matteo trying to keep up with Soroka. Oh dear, so Savale hitting trouble.
So there's a horrible look there for Kochkov Sukac, just spinning around there in the background of what was turn 7, but now through Marc Marquez corner. Byron Peary is the one without the wing, and yet you can see how difficult it is to keep that car motoring along without a front wing, so that will require an immediate service.
Oh, Rimskovic goes wide and loses several positions, comes up just behind Grimmelisi. So Nova McKenna already up to PA, and Bettany's hitting the back. That's exactly what he would not have wanted to happen, and he's gone into a little extended loop there. And it's the light blue car. Oh, that's not Negrin. It's got to be Jamie Klomp that's hit him there.
Yeah, Jamie Klomp has caused a bit of contact there. So Bettany from 1st all the way to 17th on this lap, but Nathaniel Skarupa not worried about what's going on behind in some respects, but Soroka will definitely bring the alarm bells into his into his earpiece basically. And here we go, we've lap 1 completed, 1 minute 52, that's taken, but Sergei Soroka will try the outside line and then the switchback potentially. No, not on this occasion.
Oh, 2 pit stops. Matilik has gone into the pits then. Second place in race 1. So this has gone horribly wrong for him. I think he may have lost his front wing as well as Byron Perry, as now we see Soroka all over the back of Skarupa. And we know Soroka made a bit of a mistake in the first race. He's got the pace to challenge it, but Nova McKenna is picking off car after guy who's just got past Negrin for P5. So he's only about 2 seconds behind this fight now. So, oh, and Soroka gets hit in the back by Matteo, I believe.
Well, that was frightening enough from us in the commentary booth to feel that in your sides with a bit of contact there. But Matteo, thankfully, has not caused himself or Sergei any severe harm. So this race can carry on as normal. Look at the pushing from Pablo Mata, trying to hang on to this advantage. Nova McKenna has done a splendid job to make up all these positions in just 2.5 laps. But this is where the pink machine can go a little bit off the boil here. The particular technique into the chicane, 14 and 15. Maybe not as aggressive this time, perhaps toning it down a little bit.
Negrin, and onto the gravel goes Mata there.
Yeah, a little mistake for Mata. And Grimaleezy will know McKenna has pulled out a significant enough advantage, but down the inside, this will be for the lead. Soroka on the outside, I beg your pardon, will go for the lead. Oh, wheel to wheel and chassis to chassis, and that will take Skarupa down and into the lead. It surely will be McKenna's chance with the greater momentum. So with 5 cars in the camera shot now, Skarupa will feel, yeah, that was my ability. I just couldn't do anything else.
McKenna to the outside into turn 1. He's doing that move that he loves, pulling off Grimaleezy side by side. Matteo, sliding around, and I think McKenna has stolen the lead. Oh dear! And you're right, there was a big collision happening in the background there as we see side by side for the lead. McKenna just nips in front of Soroka, just enough overlap to force Sergei Soroka to back out there. So that collision from Skarupa has basically handed the advantage to McKenna as Tanasco turns in from the outside as he tries to fight with Nathaniel Skarupa in front of him, who is ruining probably that dive up the inside that cost him more than anything.
There's the spin. That's Skarupa down. Tanasco just gets away from the scene. Skarupa will not feature in the top 10 on this sector. Kochkov Sukac, after a bit of bad luck for him, he's now fighting back with dignity, and he has P10. Oh, what a chaotic start to this race. The gloves that were off for the top 3, they at least kept polite in some respects, but this time it's all all for one, really. Everybody wants to get this race to victory, and it's going to come at quite a heavy price if these cars continue to knock each other for significant lumps, basically. And Matteo using that risky sausage curb there, at least the gravel trap perhaps kept the car just off the skateboard territory there.
Yeah, so McKenna's pulled about 6/10 clear of Soroka, so should be able to defend DRS attack, but Grimaleezy will be the big threat here. Tanasco really late on the brakes, just sends it just a day late and $1 short in terms of braking for that corner, and that means Davakos is going to hold on to P8 as yellow in the first sector ahead of our leaders. Then Grimaleezy up the inside of Soroka. Was that just before they hit the start-finish line? So he should be okay. There wasn't an overtake under yellow flags there.
No, that should be okay. You'd know for sure from the actual client itself to see if that would have been considered the yellow zone. Might have just been the case he had the start-finish line, might be just before the actual main source of the flag. But Tanasco pushing as hard as possibly can out of turn 5. The sweeper for 6 before the 7th corner will again be a bit harder on the brakes before we can now concentrate on the quicker sections of the track. Soroka trying to keep up with race winner Grimaleezy, and Nygren as well, also a presence that should not be forgotten about. So 4 drivers in play for race 2 glory. But at the moment Soroka has pushed a little bit too hard. Got to be careful on that sausage curb. Nygren, if anything, was a little bit too...
Grimaleezy did it as well.
Yeah,
he just got skateboarded in the middle. So even making the corner, you got to be careful. And Davakos does the exact same thing, but somehow holds... Oh, dear! And who's that being hit in the back there? It's Skarupa again as he makes contact with Kochkov Sukac.
Jamie Klomp...
don't turn in on Jamie, please. Oh, there we go. He is going to turn in on him. And I think Skarupa's had enough.
He's had enough, yeah.
Oh, dear. His anger getting the better of him there as Rimskevitz, I think, has just cleared Pablo Mata for P5. So he's not too far behind our top 4 here. As this is a replay of what we just saw then. Yeah, so mistake there for Sukac as he fights Davakos, and then Skarupa just arrives too quickly, doesn't really react in time to the slow car in front of him. And the result is another big spin.
For Jamie's point of view, he would have lifted off. He would have seen the danger just ahead, so thankfully he did realize it was time to just back off a little bit, but then when the chance came to overtake, he had to rely on the departure of Skarupa from the race to actually get
big moment for Loza Matteo through turn 1 there, Eoin. And look at this, they're still fighting away. Tanasco gets through and then gets a little hit at the back there as there's a purple car moving over. That's one of our that's Lorenzo, yes, after being lapped. Obviously him, Skarupa is out, and then we've got Ryberg, Piri and Madaluk, who've all visited the pit lane. So Madaluk, I think, brutally set the fastest lap when McKenna stole it from him.
Yeah, so Lorenzo's just being respectful of the blue flags, just not having a very rewarding time of it this evening. Perhaps the setup has gone against Lorenzo tonight, so that's a great shame, but at least for now he's still soldiering on, trying his best. Kochkov, Sukac down 3 places compared to his grid slot position, but yeah, the big 2, it's a shame that we won't get to see the best of Matalik either. He was on the podium previously. So McKenna versus Grimaleezy, their rematch is on, up 12 and 13 places respectively. Soroka, has to be said, is proving worthy.
2 purple sectors for Grimaleezy, Eoin, so
yeah.
he is flying.
This lap is on course to be a new fastest lap. The benchmark was set by Nova last time around, 148.6. This should be 148.4 perhaps. No, 148.1, even better. So how about that, within DRS range of the race leader McKenna. Soroka still in play, 2.6 seconds off the lead. Another 1.2 seconds back is Andre. So that should be an encouraging sign for Andre, pushing solidly enough here. Good balance in that car at the moment by itself. Rimskovic in P5 by himself, in all honesty, but no need to coast or gloat just yet. There's still another half of the race to go, and we're on board with Grimaleezy. Not quite purple in sector 1 this time. It's a slender advantage to McKenna.
Yeah, of course, now they've both cleared Soroka, it's basically free for them to fight each other for the lead then. McKenna getting a sort of second chance after things went a bit wrong from him, despite getting on pole and leading a big chunk of race 1 here. So he's just got to make sure he doesn't make any big mistakes under the pressure that Grimaleezy is applying, and Soroka has got his hands very much full, I think, of Andre in the Grin behind him, as again it's that same mistake we saw from McKenna, just slightly too much entry speed there, and he just about gets back on the power in time, but he's going to again lose a couple attempts down this back straight, and he's going to be hurting from that, as we see yellows in sector 2, somebody hitting a few issues behind or just getting out of the way of the front runners. And again, Grimaleezy not quite close enough into the hairpin at 15, but he's now right behind Nova McKenna, may even get the extra dose of DRS here. Here is Kochetov Sukak challenging Davakos for P9. So Davakos, having lost P8 to Lozamatio, now sees Kochetov Sukak to slide up the inside of him and relieve him of 9th position then. So yeah, Davakos defending well, but he doesn't quite have the raw pace here, as we see Soroka and Nigrin fighting away into turn 1.
Yeah, that's neck and neck battles. A brilliant lap for Nigrin last time about, gaining a huge chunk of time against Soroka. And now it's a case of where do you place your car? Watching and waiting for turn 5. We know what's happened here. If you were too hot into the corner, then yeah, you just spear straight on into the runoff. At least these 2 drivers have kept each other very honest here. Now we'll head through to the slow 8 and 9 down the crest here. And Nigrin uses more curb on the inside, but not necessarily outside. And we'll see now up to 5th gear. The grip really pulling through those tires at the moment. And yeah, the turn 12 is definitely the corner in terms of making sure you set yourself up for the rest of the lap, because you'll be slow into 13, and then 14 and 15 you have to regroup and try again. But for the moment, Nigrin has this opportunity. But a great exit though. That's a fantastic exit by Soroka. He's pulled out a decent chunk of time, and that will make it tougher for Nigrin to actually catch up.
Yep, so Nigrin, of course, keeping it very tidy at the start of this one. And yes, it's always a shame because he's matching what the 2 leaders are doing. To the outside into 15. Soroka late on the brakes. He's only got a wheel alongside his Nigrin, so he was always going to get sort of shuffled to the outside there, as we see Tanasco and Mata dueling away over P6 here, and that's another place for Jakob Tenasco then. So yeah, nothing that Pablo Mata can do, but he opens the DRS, is going to try and get the cut back into turn 1. Grimalizi is resuming his fight back against McKenna here up at the front. But yeah, Pablo Mata put to the outside, put over the curb, and that's really good placement there from Jakob Tenasco then, as he tries now to chase after Julian Vimskevits.
Yeah, so the job on the shoulders here of Tenasco and Mata. Oh, there it is. There's your turn 5 surprise. It came just
He's
the wrong
done
time
exactly
for
what
Butler.
Jamie Comp did in race 1.
Mateo,
Oh, they're
likewise.
all doing it.
Don't forget the double apex. It definitely comes. Oh, look at that. Almost
Sukak, yeah, just having a massive four-wheel drift there. So he's definitely had his fair share of misadventures in this race alone. And yeah, he's certainly not worrying about keeping the rear tyres alive. He's just going for it. Meanwhile, Grimalizi just under 3/10 now behind Nova McKenna. And this is the crucial section through 13 and 14. Pretty equal. I think McKenna has learned from the first race a little bit and started to become a bit more wiser to Grimalizi's tricks here.
Yeah, great to see the quick learning from one race to the next. And that makes it more tough for Grimalizi to actually make the passes that we saw more often than not into the final hairpin. But now Nygren and Soroka will go at it again. Nygren onto the podium for the time being. This should be a very good corner entry, but not so good an exit. And Soroka has the opportunity here to pull back straight away on DRS. Yellows in sector 2, so that could be down in P9 or 10. But Soroka has the DRS for now. Oh, dummy to the outside. Definitely Nygren forced his hand there, but well done, Andre. Keep up the good work here. This is a very impressive performance.
Oh, Grimalizi only a tenth behind the lead, Eoin. So, but having to back off there as they get back on the power. And you can see there is the gap right in front of you then. Grimalizi almost pushing Nova McKenna along here. And literally pushing him along there as they go into 4 and 5. And yeah, meanwhile, Vimskevits, by the way, has set personal best lap time 1:49.2 and taken almost a second out of Nygren and Soroka in front of him. So we could see a three-way fight for P3 if Nygren is not able to escape Soroka here and they just keep fighting each other. But I think this lead fight is going to rumble on. Grimalizi has not given up yet and has got 3 more laps then to try and figure out a way to pass Nova McKenna as here comes Soroka.
Here we go again. Watching and waiting for the opportunity. Turn 12. Not one to be messed around with. Again, yeah, very respectful driving. These two have a great understanding so far. They've got to keep it going for the final few laps. We'll see now in the DRS zone if the gap can shutter and then be crossed over. Let's wait and see. There we go, side by side. Yeah, he's ready to commit. It's all about who breaks last as well. Soroka is ahead. Watching for the switch
left
back.
the door open.
Oh, a little wiggle.
So he's going to be slow on the exit. Surely it's going to be Nygren with the DRS here as the Soroka is all over the road.
Here we go. One last chance for this lap anyway. Soroka with a bit of defensive sort of switching. But there we go, around the outside. And that was very well done by Andre. And that will allow to third place yet again.
Great commitment there from Andre Nygren. But of course, as we said, move is not done yet. He's still got to make sure he doesn't leave the door open again as they go back downhill in this roller coaster circuit at Motorland Aragon. You can see Vimskevits now is within a second of both of them. It's just Loza Mateo who is fighting away with Kochitov Sukak, and Sukak does leave the door open as they go into turn 6. And there we go, just surviving that one is Kochitov Sukak. I think it's actually lost P7 to Mata, but late on the brakes from Loza Mateo. And yeah, it is Davakos that's watching this play out in front of him. Locking the rear brakes and just avoiding hitting the back of Kochitov Sukak then. So these three having a great scrap then for P8.
Absolutely, yeah. And the ability to follow now for a little while should make sure that the race will play out in an unpredictable manner for these three. There's no need to go for it just yet. You maybe have the chance on lap 11 to set the tone. But yeah, great work by these three. And they're not a million miles away from Mata either. So Mata also in attacking range if this lap is not quite as quick for Pablo this go around. DRS for Kochkov, Sukac. Won't be enough until the very last moment, to be quite honest, unless there was something stunning. Here we go. This is the last chance saloon to make it work, but no. That will filter in behind for now. Penultimate lap for race leaders. And McKenna's lead is actually growing. They're both very quick in Sector 3 with that motivation just to push and push to the end. But now Sukac, here's the second chance. Pushing to the outside now. The block from Matteo.
Oh, a little touch.
Oh, a bit of a touch. That's going to unsettle Savali a bit, quite a bit there. And that allows Davakos into the ring here for a run around the outside into turn 3 now. Davakos, waiting for his chance.
Yeah, we can't forget, though, that third place fight between Negrin, Soroka and Rimskevits. Julian Rimskevits is really pushing to try and put pressure on Soroka here. He's got the gap down from a second to just half a second now. Although there's yellows in Sector 2. I think a couple of people running wide as we go back to our lead fight then. I think McKenna making a small mistake, but actually having a much better turn 12 than Grimalizi, and that could make the difference here, because this will be penultimate chance to try and use DRS and Slipstream to get back ahead of Nova McKenna in front of him.
That's it. So great advantage so far for Nova. Of course, this will be the chance to counteract with DRS.
Mistake from Vinskevits. He's fallen out of a range hit.
That's unfortunate. We'll wait and see. The long drag up the start finish straight up to 250 kilometers an hour. That's the max out of the gear, so you're going to have to tolerate that. You can't quite get the ultimate speed. So final lap will get underway right this moment. Yellow's persistent in Sector 3. It seems to be all right now. Nova McKenna, 1 lap to go. Oh, Lorenzo struggling a bit more. That car does not look healthy.
Doesn't look like the driver's having much fun either. He's slowed right down to a crawl. So this could be a little bit of a roadblock. He does actually get going again now, so maybe Lorenzo deciding to just go a lap down on everybody. Look at this, Grimalizi trying to launch up the inside and McKenna fending him off then. And Grimalizi's got to be careful he doesn't go for the move somewhere where he's not likely to get through then. You can see here, no, McKenna really starting to run out of rear tyres, and maybe this is what Grimalizi has been waiting for the entire race.
Yeah, we know those tactical decisions that helped him along his way to the win. When it mattered most, he had that speed into the turn 16 hairpin, and McKenna's preference to go ahead of turn 1. It doesn't help you on the last lap. So it's all about the execution for the final 8 corners or thereabouts. Big risk there on the sausage curb. But it's all about the chicane here, 14 into 15. If McKenna can get this spot on, then her chances of winning are significant. But Grimalizi looks to have equaled that approach. So it's all about the courage or
he's too far back.
It's going to be quite a ways back. A big weave for Nova McKenna. That might help determine the outcome here. Yeah, waiting and waiting for the final braking zone up to the top speed. Yeah, McKenna so far. So got a bit of a block there. Grimalizi wouldn't have got through there. McKenna put up the shield, and this should do it. McKenna will power through to the start finish line and convert the reverse grid position of 13th into the win. That's how you do it. Well done, Nova.
There we go. Nonetheless, great drive by Grimalizi as well to go from 15th to 2nd as we see Negrin fends off Soroka for the final spot on the podium. Mateo gets spots. Kochutov, Sukac, I think. Poor Pablo Mata had a horrible final lap, but look at this, still in play. It's almost 3 wide over the line. It's Davakos that's trying to lead them. Sukac, oh, there we go. Mata gets back through into P8 then. So Kochutov, Sukac and Davakos just trip over each other right when they really didn't need to. So yeah, that P7 battle was really kicked off on the final lap.
Yeah, Pablo Mata used turn 18 to full effect and got the best launch into the final corner, and that helped him finish 8th place. Byron Peary, that will be one to forget, I'm afraid, after a brilliant run to 4th in the first race. So I'm afraid that's 13th. And Alex Bettany, of course, was the reverse grid pole sitter. And he's actually going to finish 14th this time around. So P15 and a P14 for his evening's work. And that will let us witness the 15th place driver, Martin Rietzberg. Skarupa out of the race, and Tervic Funcic would have crossed the line after being lapped. So it should be all of our drivers across the start finish. So,
honorable mention, by the way, those at the pit for new front wings, Lucas Matiluk was easily the fastest of them, getting up to P11 past Jamie Comp in the final couple of laps there. So good to see Matiluk didn't give up, even though he had a horrible start to the race and was about 13 seconds down on the top 10. Still an impressive load of laps there.
Of course, yeah, very intense, but it must be said, Nova McKenna took the feedback on board. It's probably the self-reflection as well to win race 2. Marvelous work, especially in the last couple of laps, to withstand the pressure from Grimaleezy there, who wanted to take the double triumph tonight, but it just wasn't quite to be. Andre Nigrin secured the podium after a tough battle, but a respectful one with Sergei Soroka there. And Julian Rimskovic has settled in for P5. A quite enough race, but a solid job by himself there. Jakub Tonasco in a comfortable 18 seconds gap behind the leader, but 6th place is the outcome there. Loza Mateo in 7th, but it was Pablo Mata who gained 2 places in the final furlong there. Very impressive job. Savli Kochkov, Sukac and Georgios Davakos are the top 10. Lucas Matulik, a disappointing outcome for him after race 1 showed a lot of promise. It was just unlucky with the chaos at the start that brought him down. Jamie Klomp, similar outcome for him. Unfortunate to fall by the wayside in respect. And of course Byron Peary as well, a quick driver in today's events, but just didn't get the look this time around. Alex Bettany got crossed the line at 14th. He was involved in a spin with contact, so it's a shame he fell from 1st to 15th in the beginning of the race, but he recovered to 14th. Martin Rietzberg, the last driver, classified on the lead lap. Lorenzo Tervic Funcic, 2 laps down in 16th, and Nathaniel Skarupa dropped out. Might have been a disconnection. We'd have to double check that, but that was his point of view anyway. He lost out after a mistake, and he couldn't get any further than that.
Yeah, so I think he said in the chat, he said, "I'm not angry, my Wi-Fi kind of went." So maybe that was probably the moment that he disconnected was due to the Wi-Fi, not due to him. But it definitely wasn't a great from starting on the front row in the reverse grid. It wasn't too much fun for Nathaniel out there.
Unfortunately not.
Or maybe we can hear from him ourselves if we really want to know.
Yeah, we have our interview segment right now. So great to get everybody geared up and ready for a chat. So
who should go for first?
Yeah, certainly difficult to ignore Nova McKenna, the pole sitter and race 2 winner. That double honor for Nova there. So we should bring, I think, her in for the first chat.
Okay, Nova McKenna joins us now. Nova, how are you? Congratulations on winning race 2 and getting pole position. A lot of great fights out there.
Thank you. God, I love this track. What more can I say?
Well, you certainly foreshadowed your performance there, Nova, to say, "Oh, I can't wait for Aragon," and I suppose the pole position. Let's discuss that first.
It's always been a favorite track of me, so kind of happy I did well. Bit disappointed in race 1, but I mean, gone to the dirty air and I just couldn't get back on the DRS. So yeah, just made race 2, realised where the mistake was, especially coming onto the big back straight. And yeah.
Yeah, I suppose the battle was exquisite for the top 3 all race long in race 1. Just a shame, I think, at the end it went a bit against you, but must be said, yeah, superb battling. And we're overtakes into turn 1. Was that a part of the track that you're very comfortable with, that you like to perform those moves?
Yeah, I'd say so. And for a lot of the practice, I wasn't, but then realizing how early a lot of others braked, I just try to take advantage of that, and it worked 99% of the time. I think there's one move against Lucas, but other than that, they all seem to work successfully.
Brilliant. And then race 2, having to start from 13th. Did you see all the carnage in front of you?
I was in the middle of it and I somehow lived. And I don't know how. I'm not happy.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, at least you got through.
Yeah, just
And
about.
won. Yeah.
And then I had Lorenzo come up my inside at top of the hill, hairpin.
Oh no.
Don't know
Oh,
what
that was
he
where
was
Lorenzo
doing.
crashed out, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't know what he was doing, but hey ho. Didn't give me any damage and brought it home at least, so can't complain.
Any questions for Nova, Ed?
Not too much to say. Nova's a former driver of mine. Just great to see you excelling in Academy once again. And as you say, you really seem to click with the track. There were a couple of times into, I think, particularly in race 1 into 12 and 13, where you weren't getting the exit onto the back straight that some of your competition was. So yeah, but yeah, it was really fantastic to watch you, Grimmelisi, and Madaluk just go at it in race 1, and then a rematch against Grimmelisi, which you came out on top of. So yeah, I definitely think you more than proved your worth today. So thanks for entertaining us, and yeah, have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
Yes. All right. There we go. I think that's all I really have to say. But anyway,
Fair enough. Yeah.
so I'm a bit tired, if you can't tell. But then you're having to herd small children around a park all evening, but well, for an hour. Anyway, but shall we? Who else would be interesting to talk to? Matiluk might be actually, because he's on there now.
Mhm.
It's obviously great. Second in race 2, 11th in second in race 1, 11th in race 2.
Let's have a chat.
So Lucas Matiluk joins us now. Lucas, really a great drive in race 1, brilliant start off the line, and then able to sneak into P2 in the closing stages. And unfortunately, race 2 didn't quite go to plan, having to make the early stop to change front wing, and then fighting your way back through to P11. But some great lap times nonetheless. So a mixed day, but that first race was you were in the middle of a really exceptional battle.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate in race 2. In race 1, I didn't have the correct setup because I've been grinding Montreal for my SL2 debut tomorrow.
Ooh, best of luck.
So, yeah, I didn't have the correct settings. I was just slow on the straights, picked up P2 whenever I could, and then just held it off on the final lap, since we were just waiting for or switching for the lead because no one wanted to lead because of the slipstream on the back straight. And then race 2 just checked up with a bunch of people. Past Alex, my friend, we kind of waved to each other. When I passed him, I wiggled my wheel, he wiggled back, so that was nice. But yeah, just unfortunate in race 2.
Eoin.
Yeah. I suppose my question, Lucas. Yeah. I suppose when you realised race 2 was a bit of a doomed endeavour. How do you feel you fared ever since you recovered from the damage and you got yourself a reasonably decent position, I suppose? How did you feel after that? How did you feel you got on?
It was a bit boring, but the pace wasn't bad. It was definitely improved from race 1. I changed my arrow, so yeah, I think I could have won if I didn't pick up the damage, and at least crawl back to P11.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So see you again soon, Lucas. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, best of luck for Super Lights.
Yeah, big day.
All right, we've probably got time for. Well, we've got 3 more waiting. For a quick, we can maybe get all of them in. But yeah, should we go for Matteo Lozza, who, if memory serves, was 11th in race 1, and I think was he the one that was 7th in race 2? I think he was. Yeah, let me just.
Could very well be. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Although he's called Lozza Matteo, so that's what we've been calling him all along.
Yeah.
That's a bit confusing, but let's drag Matteo in and hear what he has to say. So Matteo Lozza joins us now. Matteo, great performances overall, getting, I think, P11 in the first race and then P7 in the second with a crazy finish at the end. We didn't see a whole lot of it, but it looked like you really took advantage of all the chaos.
Couple
Yeah, I'm on the
Right, go ahead.
yeah, I'm on the chaos on the final because Matta go out at turn I don't remember. So I go on the turn at the turn at the corner. He literally go out. He literally cut the corner. Cut the next corner, and and I literally confused because I see. Where is Matt? I think he's behind me. No, I see on my left. On my left. What the hell, bro? And I literally on the behind I have a driver who fighting with another driver and I literally got a defense like Max Verstappen, like Charles Leclerc on Lando Norris and Austin 25 and I finished 7. So and I can finish 10 on race 1, but unfortunately I spin out at the last corner.
Oh, I think we missed that on stream, so don't worry about it.
I spin out at the last corner, so I go P11, and 7 and 11 on only 6 race because the last race I don't have a race is for me is a great result because on the beginning of this of the season I literally go 16. I retire on race 2 in to Malaysia. Science Malaysia, I got an upgrade of my performance. I go, for example, I go a podium on Malaysia, yeah, and now I'm 7 and 11. So for me is a great choice.
Okay, I think I understood some of that, but yeah, great to hear your passion and enthusiasm, Matteo. Oh, and any questions for our man who was 7th in race 2?
No, I don't have a question.
Self-interview. Sure.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose Matteo. My quick question was, I suppose, beginning of the race, did you see much of the chaos in race 2? And did you manage to snake your way through it?
Thanks for the compliment, Eoin.
No problem.
Thanks for the compliment. I see on the my tactics. I see on the chaos. I literally find a little hole, and I literally go on the little hole, and I overtake them. But on the begin race, I see Nova Mechina, Francesco. I see Nova Mechina, Francesco. It's so unexpected this. I don't predict this, and I and they literally confused, and then go 9 because I'm so confused.
You still sound confused. It's okay, Matteo. Oh, this guy's a riot.
Yeah, everyone
I love
is delighted with Matteo there, but yeah. I suppose, shall we let you go on? The confusion, it may not be worth dealing with it anymore. Just enjoy the rest of your evening. But yeah, great job today, Matteo. Thanks so much.
And for you, thanks.
Okay.
No bother at all.
Well, I think we've got one driver waiting to speak to us, and it's reverse grider pole sitter. Finished 15th and 14th today. It's Alex Bedney.
Whoa.
You can leave if you want, Matteo. You don't have to stay for this, but you can stay if you want. Anyway, Alex joins us now. Pretty eventful, especially in the beginning of race 2 there. Race 1, you were fighting, I think, Skarupa for sort of P50, that sort of reverse grid pole position for quite a lot of it, and then Berg retired ahead of you, and then all of a sudden you had it in your back pocket. And then, race 2 was where all the carnage happened, and unfortunately, I think you fell to, was it 12th or 13th by the end, if I'm not mistaken?
I think it was 13th overall.
Well, we'll call it 12 just because that sounds better.
Yeah. Makes it better in my eyes.
Yeah, anyway, give us your thoughts, your perspective, your view.
Race 1 was kind of just to properly get used to the track. My debut. Quality was cut short for me because computer issues. I managed to get through race 1, sorry. Race 2, absolutely had a horror show. Bottled it several times. I'm just glad I managed to finish the race.
Yeah, there were a couple of scary moments, especially when the front runners were trying to make their way through, and everyone was just trying to avoid getting stuck on the curbs and skateboarding off track. Essentially, I felt like very few people were able to stay out of trouble on the first lap in race 2, but you certainly were one of them. And I think we did hear from who was it? Lucas earlier, who says that when he passed you, try to give him a wave from the cockpit by wiggling the steering wheel down the straight. So that was quite entertaining.
Yeah, obviously he had a bit of an issue. I know he's faster than me, so I thought I'm not going to ruin his race by holding him up. So give him a cheeky bit of a tow. He wiggled his steering wheel after he passed, so I thought I'd say hello back. I'm just glad that I didn't hold him up because we're good friends off the track.
Oh. That's good to hear. Anyway, well, as far as debuts go, I have to say you were very, very solid today, Alex. Let's hope this is the start of something big. So, Eoin, any questions for our newcomer?
Of course, yeah. Welcome along, Alex. Well done on your debut. I suppose my question is, will you try again for Imola? Is that a track that you'd enjoy more?
I feel like Imola is a lot better track. I've had much more luck in the F1 games, but obviously the F1 games are a lot more different than R Factor 2. Depending on how I like it, I'll try my best to attend, and I just pray that my PC won't die on me again.
That's a very good point, yeah. Fingers crossed the PC cooperates.
Yeah, it cooperated for the 2 races, so I pray.
Okay, anyway, that's my question.
Yep, I think we're done here then. So thanks so much for talking to us, Alex, and yeah, let's hope we see you again soon.
All right, thank you ever so much, lads.
No worries. All right, well, that concludes the interview zone, and all in all, some mostly very happy drivers at the end of that one, and we've been treated to a really, really entertaining show.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's fantastic that Aragon was something a little bit different, not a traditional venue here in GPVWC, but yeah, it definitely played its part, and the race 1 I think will go down as one of the best academy races of the year. That'll be one that will set the bar, I think. And I know spring break is here, so the drivers have that little bit of time to take that all on board, the good and the negative, and give it their best shot for the next batch of races heading into the summer months. So yeah, get ready for Imola here in Academy next month, and yeah, hope to see more drivers willing to give it a go come the Imola round.
Indeed then. So not much more from me to say, but of course let's just remind everyone it is Super Lights Canadian Grand Prix on Tuesday, where you'll be hearing, of course, Lucas Matalik at the cockpit making his debut there as well, which we wish him the best of luck. And of course Super League, where you'll be hearing from me and Ross, well, me again and Ross for the first time this week, also from Montreal. So very much looking forward to that. And yeah, and I think I'll leave it to you to close out the stream. I've had a good time. I'm very grateful that I got called up to do this.
Absolutely, yeah. And without any further ado, it's time to say farewell. Super Lights and Super League on the agenda at Montreal to wrap up the first segment of our GPVWC calendar. So for Aragon, we've had a lot of fun helping out on the need to help when the others couldn't make it for the commentary duties. But Remco Zeeuw here as broadcast director, great to team up with him again. So for myself, Eoin, Harmon, Ed Hunter, and Remco, it's time to finish up for this evening. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bye bye.